Live from the podcast rooms in Glasgow, it's all about the Gers with Ricki, Neill, Derek Ferguson and Charlie Miller.
Hello and welcome to All About the Gers, episode 4. It's myself, Ricki, Neill, and we're joined again by Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
Hello guys, how are we?
Aye, brilliant, aye. How's your holiday?
Aye, tell us all about it, come on.
Just wasn't long enough. I didn't get a tan either.
Seriously?
He's
Aye.
constantly that colour, isn't he?
Aye, he's looking good, isn't
He's
he?
in sunbed in the house.
Aye, so then got me in bed in the house.
Glad to be back then.
Not really, no.
No, that's
I've done me another week to be fair, but that's the way it goes, isn't it?
Aye, you look quite tanned and all.
That's the back garden, isn't it?
Aye.
Sunny Larkhill,
It's solarium.
isn't it? Well, you've been out, haven't you seen that? Huh?
I've seen your wee bar. I've not had a drink in it yet, but
Aye, Beano's bar.
your wee man cave.
Aye, my big mate, he passed away early this year. So he was mad Rangers fan. So
Who's that?
my mate, Big Johnny Bain, Big Beano. So I was thinking I've got a wee kind of, she says a man cave out the back, and I was struggling for a name, and I just thought his nickname was Beano, and I was just call it Beano's bar. You know,
So
we full of Rangers memorabilia. That's
And
for
a
sure.
Bologna strip.
Oh, aye, that's aye.
what, you're going out this one, aren't you?
Aye, I'm out Sunday, innit? A week, I think so.
So
Aye, Sunday.
Is Lewis going to be playing?
He's served his
2 matches, isn't he?
I think they've got a game. They played last night. They've got a game this Saturday. I think he's available for that game. It's Milan. So he's in Milan. So he's just desperate to get going. So I'll get a wee break, a wee 5 days. I'll be like you, Charlie. I'll know why I come back, to be honest with you.
I think he needs to take us to get Charlie.
100%. I would love to go. I love spaghetti bolognese as well.
Listen, that can be arranged. Don't worry about that. We'll get something sorted.
Lewis will be like, oh
Oh
no.
no! Aye.
Imagine
He
us.
says I'm going to, he's like, oh my dad, oh no.
Yeah, imagine us three turning up at his door. Anyway,
That'll happen.
aye.
Aye, we'll get that sorted.
Right, everybody heard that, right? So, what a week last week it was for Champions League. Horrible day, horrible night at Ibrox, weather-wise, but we turned up, didn't we, Charlie?
Well, I watched it in Cyprus and I thought they played really well. And the goal we scored was the first one especially was a great goal. I thought they played some great passing and it was good to see Colak getting another goal. Obviously defensively it wasn't the best. It was they're usually no bad in there defending corners and that. But I think the first one kind of just Golson doesn't think it's going to come out like I said. He's been unlucky a wee bit. Every wee mistake he's making is getting
Slated, isn't he?
slated. Aye.
The thing is, it has been about the past 4 or 5 games that he has been making these. And as you say, it's an odd wee mistake, but and he's doing all right the rest of the game. But it's those wee mistakes that are costing us, you know. But
set pieces to lose the goals that we did, and the nature that we're talking about. Yeah, goals, but we've got to react better. But I don't like the way we set up. I don't like the zonal marking. Across that 6-yard box. You saw it in the second goal, corner kick. And by the way, they've got a good physicality about them. They actually, Charlie,
they were good.
They surprised me in terms of. I knew they were going to be technically good, but I didn't realise they were going to be as powerful and as aggressive without the ball as well. So that kind of surprised me a wee bit. But we know what we've got to kind of improve on. And as I say, I don't like the zonal. It's just me. I think you've just got to get up against people, and when you allow players to get a run and jump, for me, most of the time the guy that's got the run's going to win.
The thing is, we're missing Hollander, Balogun, obviously he's away, and Sands has done well. I think Sands is going to be a good player.
He's coming on again,
going to be a good player, but I just don't think he's a centre half type. If you know what I mean, he's not that one that goes and wins the headers like Golson will or Balogun did or Katic did. I just can't see why Katic isn't even getting a sniff. It's
Charlie, that's a wee worry for me getting into the return game on Wednesday, because I think in Sands he has done well. He's a midfielder, we all know that, and he's filling in there. But I think the big boy up there, who's a powerful big fella, Big De Jong, I could even see it in the first game. He was just starting to peel onto Sands because he knows that he's going to win the headers. So it's a slight worry. But but the goal we scored, I mean, Cholak's goal was absolutely brilliant. Remember I was saying about how we've got to inject more pace into our game, just even with the 1-2 touch passing. That goal was absolutely top drawer.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, the pass through for Stephen Davis is immense, and then on Tav. But Charlie, you mentioned there Balogun. And McCoy's actually said during the week as well, you know, why did we get rid of him? I thought he was a cracking player and he's just sitting watching in the stands now.
Obviously, they gave other players 1 year contracts, and I thought Balogun was going to be the first one to get one out of everybody, because I thought we were struggling in that area. But I begin to worry about Davies. I just don't know the script with this guy, what's happening.
He's picked up another injury, hasn't he?
Oh, has he?
Aye. And that's a worry, because see, when they've spent a few bob on him, you know, obviously he is a good player, but when you haven't played a lot of football, you sometimes can become injury prone as well. So you're right, it is a worry. But Balogun, you know, why could we have not just gave him another year's contract? Because even we were talking about Suter, remember we were talking about Suter needs a wee bit of time, but he's got a history, you know, of picking up injuries. So it's a wee bit of a worry. So it is, because we need that physicality. And Balogun would have been, I know Cloysty, we spoke about it, and I think he was bang on, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's David Morrison online saying the worry is, as you said, injuries to centre back, no news when they're going to be back. You know, nobody's heard anything about Helander or anything.
No.
Which is very strange.
And I mean, his has been long term, you know, so we need to get games under his belt. We don't know, we're not privy to that, what happens, you know, at the training centre. But you look at Suter, we're talking about Davis, obviously Helander, you know, and these guys are, I don't want to say injury prone, but, you know, they're picking up these injuries, and there's a guy that was kind of relatively fit, you know, and played a lot of games for us, Balogun. So but that's down to the manager. You know, he's made that choice. He's made that decision, and it's for me, it is a worry. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, the fans are excellent again the other night, and even at the Hibs game, they sang for the full 90 minutes non-stop, and they were brilliant. And to go down 1-0 in 36 minutes, you know, I felt, oh, this is it.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
I'm like, oh no.
I know. I thought it was going to be about 2 or 3.
I thought that draw was a fair result in the game. I thought they were really good. I thought it was a good game. It was good to watch. Obviously, when we go 2-1 up, it's disappointing to lose that goal, you know. But I think we're still in it. We've still got a great chance. We can go and Dortmund them, if you want to call it.
I mean, how good is it to have football at Ibrox? Two teams actually want to play football.
But
some
how
difference
can
in
it be PSV and Rangers, and then you've got Maribor against, no Maribor, Karabag against some other team, Copenhagen against,
Aye,
and then Trabzonspor against some other.
Just a look at the draw, innit?
But
you know,
that doesn't make any sense. We must be higher seeded than these guys, surely.
aye, must be, especially after last year. But does it not go every 2 years or something?
I'm not sure how that works out, but like I say, it is what it is. We know the task now. I think the players even certainly would have learned a bit about them, because I would think they would be been a wee bit surprised with their physicality, with their power, their aggression. So no, we're capable, and that's why we've got to take that confidence. And we'll keep going back to it. You know, the run in Europe, we were brilliant in Europe, and the guys they always reach high standards, and we'll need them on Wednesday. Are they capable? Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know who I think is going to be a brilliant player as well? See Tillman. It was about 66 minutes. He was going and running himself, and he could it. He had 2 options, but he went himself. You know, but I think that's just having to get to know your teammates. You know, but what do you think of him, Charlie, so far?
I think he starts well in games. He doesn't really finish them, I don't think. But
We said
I
that
think
the other
once
week,
he
didn't
gets a bit more confidence and maybe get a bit more match fitness, then he'll become a really good player. Hopefully, as I said the other week, hope it wasn't quantity rather than quality we've brought in. But obviously, we're talking PSV, and they were clever with Tav again. They just doubled up in Tav. And
the boy he was up against his top drawer. I mean, Man United are trying to sign him for something like 50
35
million.
the boy
about 50
Kent
mil.
played against was strong and good. The right back, he was strong, physical, good player. Him.
It was just their attitude, you know. And I mean, the fans were amazing. You know, look, some players crumble under that. They didn't. They seem to enjoy that. Which, you know, you heard that they were quite vocal about it. Some of them saying they couldn't even hear themselves think. But good players rise to that. You know, the big occasions and I mean the noise. It was bedlam, but they seem to enjoy it as well. They're a good team, but we can beat them.
Aye. I mean, Tom Lawrence is just getting better and better every week. That free kick, obviously, it's a fumble by the keeper, but you need to take those chances in that kind of wet pitch as well, isn't it?
No, you take them all day long. If it happens here, I'll take that. It's like Tav's at the penalty Saturday. You take it. It was soft, but we'll take it.
Aye, we're going to come to that about the referees' decisions. Later.
Aye. But you know something? But that's hit the target. what do you always hear coaches saying? You know, make sure you hit the target, because things like that can happen. You know, I think the goalkeeper he spoilt one just before that as well. He had a wee second bite at it.
See after that though, that's when you just start shooting for anyway.
I know that's
because he loses his confidence.
and that's what should have happened, and they should have peppered the goal if they can. But I know you would have shot for like 40 yards, wouldn't you? Just to test them.
Probably bouncing the 18-yard line for 40 yards.
I can't even walk 40 yards these days.
There's Jack Wilson. A few people are asking about Roof. What's happened with Roof? Have you heard anything about when he's coming back? Is he
There's
coming
another
back?
one with the injury problems. He's plagued with a calf injury, and sometimes when you get a certain age as well. I don't know, Roof's on about what 29, 30. You know, and when you've had a history of having a certain injury, it's very hard to recover. I just think that the fitness standards that Van Bronckhorst will want in there. Sometimes there'll be some players that are not capable of matching that, and when they're trying to get to that, there's a fine line between being really, really fit and being injured, and it's that fine line. And sometimes maybe guys like that just.
Right. So now, we were saying Davis was going to start against Union. He was going to start. He didn't start, but he's got to start in Eindhoven now because he didn't start on Saturday against Hibs, did
How
he?
did he not start, Charlie?
But I think he will start now because he didn't play on Saturday.
Do you think he was resting him for PSV?
I think so.
Do you know? I think he needs more minutes as well.
I don't think Davis. I think he'd be 30-minute cameo on Saturday. Even though we're doing to 9 men, he'd have been like, bugger this, man.
Aye.
Chasing shadows.
It looked hard work, didn't it? Because he
It's
just.
horrible.
Oh, it was horrible. I know. Right. We're going to do a wee thing later on. We're going to get you to pick your best 7-a-side
I've saw
Rangers
his
team.
His team's unbelievable.
So we'll get, if you can text in as well, who would you have as your 7-a-side Rangers team? But it's players you have to have been able to seen play. So I don't want any like guys from
I thought
1940.
you meant players that you'd played with. I've seen play. Right,
Oh no,
okay,
just
that's
as long as
right.
Are you going to change your team now?
I could change it. Aye. Jeez.
Aye.
Aye.
Just did the same as mine.
Are we allowed subs? Are we allowed subs?
Well, I've got 3 subs
You get free
Yeah.
subs.
because I don't want Albert's batting me again.
His team's. That's frightening. I was going to swear there, but it's an absolute top draw.
Ah, but he's went for all out
Mine's is
attack.
no bad at all.
Aye.
All out attack.
I'm
of
quite
course.
defensive. Right, just I don't want to pick in Golson, but their second goal, he needs to attack that, didn't he? He didn't even jump. It
He's
was
got a good
They
run.
turned
on him.
away.
Aye.
I know,
Him and Jack
it's-
turned away. No, Charlie, listen,
great
I'm a
he does,
lot uglier than you. No, I used to take a few wee smacks in the old cooking. So so that's what you've got to sometimes. You've got to do that. You know, you've got to take the whack. If it's going to smash you in the face, so be it. You know, sometimes I was talking there the other day about this. It's like you used to have a charger. You know, if a free kick was set up, you know, and then you'd have a charger.
aye.
Somebody charged it, you know, and sometimes it's one of the worst jobs you can
it's
have in
horrible.
football. But I wouldn't mind getting smacked in the cooting. I wouldn't want to get smacked
No,
down
the
by,
gang-gangs.
down below.
The gang-gangs,
Aye, the gang that's a wee bit more worrying, right enough. But take the hit. And that stops. If it stops the ball getting into goal, and it would have, you know, so be it. If you get a bloody nose or whatever, a black eye, hey ho.
To be fair, he could have taken one in the face for the second goal as well on Saturday. He
Aye,
moves it
well,
away.
I was going to talk about that later as well. He moved it away, because I was, do you know, after you know what I've been like with McLaughlin and McGregor.
Have you had a few smacks in the face?
A few hammers.
A few hammers, aye.
To be fair, we're talking about somebody charging the ball. But Coysty's the luckiest guy in the world. Remember the Brazil 1990 World Cup? Scotland played Brazil.
Oh, aye, aye.
And Coysty says to Murdo McLeod, what to change places in the ball? And Branco smacked Murdo McLeod and knocked him out.
Does that know?
That's just
That
Coysty's
that
luck.
typifies Coysty, innit? You know,
Something
everything he
new was
does,
gonna
aye, turns to gold. He always comes in.
Poor Murdo couldn't walk. Coysty's like, oh.
Is that the one we got a penalty?
No, we get beat 1-0.
What was the one we got a penalty? Did we get a penalty?
Never had a penalty. That was against Sweden.
I thought we got a penalty against Brazil.
No, we get beat 1-0. 1998 we got a penalty.
Aye. See,
1990 World Cup.
there's Billy Nisbet. He's listening to the podcast on the flight to the dam.
Enjoy, pal.
So
Enjoy.
be careful. It's one place I've never visited. I think I'd get lost there.
You get lost in many places. You get lost in Blackpool. How can you get lost in Blackpool?
I've got loads of friends down there. So.
Aye, that right?
Aye. Right, PSV.
Female
according to
friends?
Ricky's. Oh, I've got loads of friends.
And Windies. Amsterdam.
It's not quite that down in Blackpool. According to the bookies, it looks like PSV are favourites. Do you think we can do this?
Aye, they're favourites because they've got a draw away from home and they're on their own patch. And the brilliant thing for me is, I know you probably look at me as if I'm daft. I know I'm daft, but I love when you're an underdog. People out there will know give us a chance, and that's when we're dangerous. So and I think the players will enjoy that, but they'll take that confidence for how they've performed against good sides last season. So they know they can reach the levels that we need. So
we just have to go and do Dortmund. We have to go and play as well as we did. Start flying like Dortmund.
I quite like that being wrote off.
So we have to go and play like that because nobody gives a chance against them. Everybody has to be at it. We have to be as a team. The fans have to get behind the boys who are the fans that are going to be there, and we'll have to ride with luck at times, of course. But that's football sometimes, and hopefully we can sneak it.
And yet McLaughlin is going to have to have a really good game, and I think the other boys, so it's got to be 9 out of 10s for them. You know, we can't have like 6s and 7 out of 10. It's got to be 9 out of 10. Everybody at it, you know, and they will, because there'll be a big Rangers support there as well.
Do you know what? I was just about to say earlier on my wee thing about McLaughlin and McGregor. Last week he pulled off an amazing save near maybe 5 minutes to go. Maybe at this time I just need to realise that he is number one now. You know,
he is number one. But when we were asked it and we spoke about it, he's a really good goalkeeper. But when you're talking about when McGregor was at his best, it was nobody better. You know, McGregor's still a top goalkeeper, and we're fortunate in that respect. But he is the number one, and I tell you what, he has pulled off some cracking saves, hasn't he? He's
done well, of course, but just, as I said the other week, we have to stick by him and support him. And obviously, I'd still rather Griggsy was in goals, but then Gio's made his choice, and we have to go on there.
Why do you think they gave him McGregor another year and then just never played him?
I don't get it. I don't know what's happened for the FA Cup final now. I don't know what's changed. I really don't. But Gio's the manager, and we have to deal with him.
What an influence he'll be. Even see, you've got to remember as well. He's been there. He's done it. He's won many trophies through his career as a Rangers player. Just even having them in the dressing room. No, I'm not even talking about the goalkeeping side of it. Just having him in that dressing room, that influence on the younger guys in the big games. I could see him just being, and obviously you know him better than me. And sometimes it's not just going on a few calm words. Sometimes it's just having a wee laugh and a joke, just to relax players. And sometimes you need that. And I think he's at the right age, Charlie.
I don't know. I find it hard. I think Griggsy would just want to play. I think he'll just be
so you know
to play. I think it's one of the ones where he'll be going, signed that contract, next minute I'm not number one. What was the point? I think he'll be disappointed. I don't know, but I think he will be. And I think he'd rather be playing, obviously. I just hope he's in a good frame of mind for if he is going to get the chance again, because he's a 40-year-old and he might just be going down tools. Hopefully no. I don't think he will, but
the reason I'm saying that is because when I was at Rangers and there was certain guys that maybe weren't in the starting lineup, the experienced boys, but they would just come out and just we kind of get G you up, or just, as I'm saying, have a wee laugh with you, just relax you. So I just think when you've got guys like that class, you know, and that aura in the dressing room, I think it helps.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to move on to the Hibs game. That was full of just Willie Collum, full of Willie Collum. But before I do that, John Flynn is saying, because obviously Leon King came on in about 76 minutes. Do you think Leon King will need to go out and loan this season?
I tell you what, we might need him. You know, because he's
just we're talking about defence, kind of injured.
The thing is, I think if he's playing Sands there, why do you not just give King the run? Why does he not just give King? And I think Sands is going to be good because he's got a great attitude, he's got a good engine, he wants to get into tackles, he wants to be involved. I just think maybe give Leon King the chance just to go and play. Let him, he's a centre back, go and play him, give him a confidence, and then he could end up a wonderful football player, you know.
And you hear really good things about him, and that's how I was quite surprised that he wasn't given that chance. And I mean, Sands as a midfielder filling in there and doing well, but I sometimes think just let him go, take the shackles off, let him go and show you know, how good he is, because we keep hearing for certain people, you know, he's a top player, but he needs to play, so he does.
See with Sands, do you think it's because he's so versatile as well? Because he's playing about 3 different positions, so he's not actually got a. No, he's not going to claim his own position. Do you think that's quite a bad thing?
Works against you. That's a bad like that. I think you want to have one position that you can play, don't you?
Aye, that's.
But when we're struggling for it, defenders, obviously it's helping Sands now because he wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't be playing because he wouldn't be playing in midfield, I think.
But that is and I'll go back to it. That is a slight worry for me on Wednesday. That's one of the worries that that big De Jong will pull onto him, and they might target that area.
Yeah.
Aye, I think so. Aye, you know, and listen, on the deck, not a problem. Movement, he's quick. He reads the game pretty well. Although we're going to talk about the Hibs game, I was thinking when I was watching it, you know, I was out working on Saturday afternoon, but when I seen it and I was listening to it, you know, I just think a natural centre back, because they play in that area, they get across that front post, they kind of sense danger. Good centre back.
That was a goal on Saturday, the first goal.
And that's what I'm saying.
He's got across the area, isn't he?
And it's sometimes like a centre back, you know, a good centre back, they just sense that danger and they just get into that area, and it's just instinct. But and I don't think that's his instinct, because he's filling in and doing a good job, but just getting across there, you know, and that's what sometimes you see the good centre halves there.
Yeah. I mean, Hibs are always a tough opponent for us, aren't they?
I know, always raise their game against us.
But most people raise their game against us, you know. But I thought, I mean, when you look at the amount of fouls that they committed against us, I was actually talking to my nephew while we were watching the game. I was like, one of them's going to get sent off, thinking one of his players.
I knew they'd be sending off as soon as I knew who the referee was.
Did you not think it was going to be Hibs side? But you didn't see most of the game.
To be fair, I thought it was a good hard game. I thought it was a good physical game. Obviously, the boys tackling Lundstrom in the first half.
Doyle Hayes.
I wouldn't say that was a red card either, but Lundstrom's wasn't it? Some of the sending offs were in the games now. It's crazy, you know.
You know, I covered games, and any time I look down and I see who the referee is and I see Willie Collum, I'm like, there's going to be red cards here today. For whatever reason, wee Willie just loves the attention. And you can even see the way how dramatic he was with Lundstrom, the sending off. You know, the way the card. He doesn't even give yourself a second or two to think, or even to go and speak to a linesman. But even if you're thinking, right, and he must have looked at obviously she's the Doyle Hayes one, right? So he deems that a yellow card. So he must have thought, give yourself a wee bit of thinking time, 2 or 3 seconds, say, that was very similar. So why am I going to brandish it? No, it's a yellow. But he just can't wait. He can't help himself.
I actually thought the Doyle Hayes one in the first half was actually worse.
It was worse
than the Lundstrom one, wasn't it, Charlie?
It was. Definitely catches him.
It was.
But the thing is, Lundstrom gets up right away and goes and plays. Did you see the Hibs players when Lundstrom got sent off?
Aye, he was.
Did you see them celebrating and all that and getting? I'm like, bloody hell.
And that's disrespectful. I hate that. I hate seeing that. You know, celebrating somebody getting sent off.
It's wrong.
Aye, it's out of order. So it is big time.
Just keep his number for next time.
Aye.
What did they? Well, I hope players. Do you think players still do that in this day and age?
Oh, aye.
Did I admit aye?
Got you, ain't you?
Who was the player that came up and gave you the sick? Was it when you were at Hearts?
What was it?
The big was it Terry Hurlock who up and gave you was it you who gave the sick note to before the game?
Oh no, it was Gary Mackay. That was brilliant.
What was that again?
So it was just in the tunnel and he handed Gary Mackay a wee bit of paper. So he did, and Gary, I could see Gary was quite nervous before games. Good top player, Gary Mackay, but he was really nervous before the game, and he's unravelled it. It was the menu for the local hospital, you know.
How you getting their heads?
See that game, honestly. Wee Terry, wee Hurlock, man, he's brilliant. Honestly, see if I hadn't have got my 2 feet off the ground, honestly, he'd have took my 2 legs out. I've got a picture in the house here. Oh, mad long hair and just a crazy man, but a lovely guy, isn't he? But crazy, good football player. People just think Terry Hurlock, a madman, just battered people about in tackles. He could play as well, so he could.
Aye. Just come back to the Hibs game because there was decisions that if VAR was there, we were going to probably change it. But I'm going to read this out to you, right? Because it says basically that VAR, who's going to run it? So it's saying current or recently retired Category 1 referees will monitor games from various camera angles and alert the on-field referee if they believe a serious incident has been missed or an obvious error has been made. And then it says the referee can then view the incident in a pitch side monitor and decide whether to overturn the original decision. So does that not just mean guys like Willie Collum can just basically say, nah, I'm not listening to VAR, and it makes it totally pointless?
Aye. And
No,
that's...
but they get told to go and look at it, don't they?
Aye.
They'll get
But-
told to go and look. No, but that's just still the way it goes in anyway.
Right. We're talking about Willie Collum, and do you know something? When you look at wee Willie, I think he's got an ego, big ego, and I could see him like, as soon as he's made a decision on that football
Cockatoo.
part, I don't think he'd change it. I just think because he's that ego, and I don't want to show. It's no weakness. It's actually the reverse of that. But nah, I just think guys like Willie. What worries me is it's right. So there's more referees in there, and sometimes they want to back the guy on the park. So I says we're wanting VAR in, of course, and you're hoping they'll get more decisions right than they get wrong. But no, I just think when we're talking about Willie Collum, I just think it's an ego thing. I don't think he can help himself. I think he just loves the attention for whatever reason when he's out there. You go if you were to go back and look at some clips over the last few years of him sending players off or booking them, watch it in the manner that he does it.
He's obnoxious, I think, and that's a bit of word. He's very in your face.
It's if he enjoys that. Now, sometimes it should be, God, I've got to send him out. And, you know,
like a 1980s school teacher.
And you don't want to send because you want to see 11 against 11.
Yeah.
But it's if he gets a wee kick out it. That's what comes across to me.
But Charlie, there must be, like, if I was doing my job wrong all the time and making a right meal of it, I wouldn't have a job, you know. But
Yep. I can't
Why
believe
is-
you're still on here.
I was waiting for that. I walked right
I
in
know
that
you
one
did.
there.
Aye. That's how I left it. I was going to jump in. But
He was taking a drink of water there, but
No, I
there
know
must come a time where you say, you know what, he's terrible.
But the people who are in the SFA are terrible as well, aren't they? The SFA is hopeless.
Yeah.
So what you expecting?
No, I'm just worried about this VAR now because I always thought the VAR had a bit. I know the rest got the final decision, but I always thought they had a bit of input. But they're just basically showing him that he's made a mistake, and he's not the kind of guy that would admit that he's made a mistake.
Probably no. But as Derek says, it's his ego. He would be no want to show that he was wrong. I wouldn't believe he's ever wrong. Probably he's probably one of the. I think I'm saying that I don't know the wee guy, but.
But
it was
go
just
and
some
watch.
bad
If you watch
decision.
games, Charlie, and I've covered quite a number of games, and when he's out there, it's like it always ends up, you know, about the referee, the referee, and it shouldn't be. Why you go to a game, right, and you know when a referee's done well because you don't
didn't
even see
notice
him. Aye, and you see you want to obviously see a good game, but any of the games that most of them have covered, that's what tends to happen.
To be
You
fair,
know, it's about Willie Collum.
Saturday, his decision for the penalty, it was a soft penalty, but we'll take it.
Well, do you know, Charlie, before you go in, I was going to go through his dodgy decisions, and like, obviously we are blue noses, but honest decisions, right, between the Perrys.
Right,
So
and can I just, before you go through that as well, because these are all different games. These are like games in the Championship, games in the Premier that I've covered, and it always ends up about Willie. No, Willie Collum. That was the other man, by the way. I says one time about Dick Campbell, you know, and I worked with Dick when I was at Dunfermline, right? And I said that, why not I says on air? I says, I love Dick. And I went, Campbell, need to get the Campbell in.
he said that to me in my BNR, by the way, just putting that in there. Right, so we'll go through the decisions, right, and you can tell me your honest opinion. So, should Hibs go a penalty in the first half?
I don't know. I think the guy was claiming early the tab as well.
And there was kind of two of them over him.
He could have given it, and it would have been soft as well.
Right, let's clarify it. It's a contact sport. There's going to be coming together in a box when a free kick goes in. So that's just the nature of the game.
See, no, I would give a penalty for every.
Well, that's
see
what's
every
going to
corner.
happen.
I would give a penalty for because defenders are just hods. I would give a penalty, and then it would stop doing it. I would give a penalty for everyone. Here, that's a penalty. There you go.
I
See
hate
that
that.
grabbing, hodding.
And it's a
people?
contact sport. It's
I know,
coming
but
together.
But see if you were to do that outside the box, it'd be a free kick.
Free kick, 100%.
But that's always been. There's like different rules
I
in the
know.
box
Shouldn't it
to
be,
outside. But you see, like even the defenders, you know, like kind of try to see the ball or the byline
That drives me crazy.
and blocking them and they're not
They're
even
20 yards away from the ball and they're taking it
aren't
away
they?
on the other side
and
of
they
the
just
stadium.
they take the player out and you go, it's a clear foul, but because it's in the box, they're not going to. different rules.
Defenders ushering it out. You're like,
Aye.
what doesn't make any difference? I'm trying to get to the ball and he's ushering me 20 yards out of our way.
Getting you a wee dink. It's
Honestly, man.
crazy.
Right, moving on to the next one. The Jake Doyle Hayes booking. Is that no worse than...
It's a booking. For me, it's a booking, but it was a worse tackle than Lundstrom's, but it's a booking.
Aye, it's a booking. It's a professional foul. He feels he's breaking away. Rangers on the counter attack and he thinks, I'm just going to clip him. I'm going to take a booting.
But
That's
Lundstrom
it.
gets
and
up.
he got a boot.
Lundstrom gets up right away and wants to play. That was the difference.
And that's what we're saying about Lundstrom. Lundstrom, same again. Boyle's breaking. He says, I'll take one for the team. I'll take a yellow card. And it should have been a yellow card. But it's all about wee Willie. Wee Willie can't he can't
Lundstrom's face was a picture.
He was in shock, wasn't he?
He won it.
Lundstrom's face is like, oh, no,
What have you
fight,
done?
man.
Aye. So
Honestly.
Well, they're going to appeal that anyway, so...
they should.
appealed it today.
And so they should.
It's been... What's that word? Expedited or something?
Off.
Don't know. It means they're going to do it quick.
Don't ask that.
Right.
You're asking us to.
Speeded it up.
Speeded up, aye. Somebody that can talk English in a group chat can let me know. Aye, Lundstrom was never a red card. A Cholak penalty.
Soft.
It's very soft.
It is very soft.
Very soft.
Aye.
No.
And listen, sometimes you get some of them. Yeah, and that's how we're saying about Tav. You know, Tav could be deemed as a penalty kick as well. So that's... So it's again, we talk about the consistency of referee.
Yep.
You know, there's two instances we're talking about the penalty kicks. He gives one, doesn't give one. He gives a yellow, gives a red. There's no consistency. What's he up to? What's going on in there?
I know. Because sometimes, you know, when a ref knows he's mucked up in the first half and he's maybe given
And they
a
try and
penalty
even-
and he tries
it's
to even up in the
ridiculous.
second half, didn't he? But there was
Ricky, it's
If you
crazy.
make a mistake, you should never try to be even it up. You've made
No.
the mistake and that's it.
That's
You
it,
just
let it
go on
go.
with- You still play the game, you see the game the way you see it. Okay, referees will make mistakes, but not as many as bloody Willie Collum. But the day make mistakes, it's normal. But some of them on Saturday. But it was a great game. It was a feisty game. They're right in about each other. It was
it was like a good old-fashioned Scottish game, wasn't it?
Honestly, a good Scottish game where everybody was at it, 100 mile an hour, but there was some good football getting played.
And that's what we should be talking about. But what are we talking about? Wee Willie.
Wee Willie.
Winky.
That's Wee Willie Winky. They were great wee sausages when I was younger. Right, moving on to Morelos now. Look, I was praying there.
I know.
Morelos. I think it's a wee bit of frustration on his side. I think he knows he's no match fit.
It doesn't matter if he's frustrated or no. Come on.
He looked
You
bigger
know.
than me when he came on Saturday.
Aye.
You already had a wee kick out before that. And we get that. We
But
know
why is he doing it, Buck? There was no need to
It's
do
just
it.
in his... Listen, and I just want him out there. I want him playing because he is, when he's on song, he's a top player. And it's something in his nature, in his makeup. It's as if he just can't help himself, you know. And so we're not going to make excuses. He was out of order, and he's let his teammates down. That's for sure, and the manager. But and he's going to be serving another 2 games, and we want him out there playing. So even if you're frustrated, you know, you don't lash out at people. Just go and work your socks off. Go and get in about
But
people.
supposedly, wasn't he? He didn't do the running on Wednesday after the game. See the man that were doing the running supposedly wasn't want to do that. He should be going like, I need to do as much running as possible. I want to get fit. He should be trying to get back in the team because he's got just under a year left in his contract now. If he's not going to be starting for us because the Colac does well and keeps on scoring and he's not want to get fit, he'll end up back in Helsinki.
Aye.
But know how good he can be. He needs to get himself fit. Obviously, match fitness is much better. See, when you're playing and you're starting, you get that run of games, then that helps me.
And that's what I think, that you know, Charlie, there's certain players that don't like the running, the training, but they get fit in games. So even if it's... See, if he didn't want to do the running after it, right, and he should actually be doing it, right, but just get him in and get him playing with the younger guys, bounce games and all that. That's how to get his fitness. Just get him working with the ball. But I didn't know that. So I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Aye, which is a...
Positively.
You know, because some of the other boys will maybe look at him and go, well, hold on a minute, how am I doing all the running?
It was late for...
It's like, I'll tell you the wee
Late as
story.
well,
Well,
aye,
remember the one, I mean, I loved Ray Wilkins, right? But Trevor Francis, something that I kind of, I didn't agree with because we were running our at training, and because it was windy, listen to this, right? Because it was really windy, Trevor says, I didn't run in the wind in Italy. So I don't want to do all this
Seriously?
run. Aye, right. So, I was daft. He's you're all doing the running. Well, but as Scotland, it does get windy. Do you know what I mean? Every now and again.
Maybe he's worrying about his Jasper Carrot bin.
Aye, but Trevor just said, Donald, we were back to the stadium, and we had to do it. And I just so sometimes it doesn't sit well with you.
He should well and get his fur coat. He turned up, didn't he? It was his turned up with his fur coat on the first day.
So maybe some of the players might get their back up. So you've got to be careful. So it's about the team. It's not about one individual. Of course, it's not.
He did let the boys. He let the boys do big thing because we still. I think we still have got the 3 points.
3 points.
I think because the ball was just coming back.
You ever refused to train because it was too windy?
I had no choice. So just to slap me. Don't get it. But it thought it'd be no training because it's windy.
Did Boyd, say it was too hot to play football at half time and Walter Smith took him off? Was that no cup final? Aye, he was walking past. I think it was a cup final, and he was like, "It's too hot there to play football." He just didn't come back.
Boyd, he was giving him Morelos a bit of stick about his fitness. So he was, but sometimes you just get guys like that, and to get them fit, just let them play bounce games, keep them playing football. Some of them just switch off, and it's just.
Do you know? See, before the season, before we won 55, I actually said I didn't think Morelos should still be at Rangers. Because see the amount of games he gets suspended, and then we were getting beat or drawn against like St Mirren.
When we beat Celtic at Parkhead that time, and he gets sent off for the last minute, and then he misses the first 2 or 3 games back after the break. We lose at Kilmarnock. I'm going, bloody hell, man.
We need him on the park. We need him involved. We need him even coming on to a game. Like on Saturday. It's a massive thing. Like imagine you're the opposition. You've got 25 minutes to go. You're getting a wee bit tired, a wee bit fatigued, and who comes on? Morelos, and you're like, oh no.
Because I heard they were going to try him and Cholak up front together, which would be good, but
I don't see it.
No,
I don't think the manager
one or the other.
One or the other.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Right. So we're going to do a wee thing, like I said. We're going to pick our 7-a-sides team, so we'll get everybody involved. But there's a couple of people sending in texts. I'm going to need to have words with wee Jamesy because his language is getting really bad. So that's
right.
Aye, but he says
we do well on here, not to swear.
We do really well, don't we?
Aye.
I know, but wee James, I'm going to come round and see you and talk to you about your language. He says he thinks Sands. This is when we're talking about Sands earlier on. He says he thinks Sands was brought in as a replacement for Lundstrom when Lundstrom wasn't that good.
Yep.
Then he changed his Rangers career around, and he thinks Suter was brought in as Goldson's replacement. So now we've got 4 in that position. But I suppose that's what kind of Gers was trying to do. I don't know actually.
Suter, do you see that? I think he's picked up picked up an injury at Livingston, didn't he, on that surface? So I know but it's a worry when you look at Suter, Hollander, and now Davis, Ben Davis. They look as if they're. I'm not going to say it, I don't want to say that injury prone. But they look as if they pick up these wee niggles, which is a worry. Because look at the amount of games Golson plays last season.
Golson's ridiculous.
It's frightening. And you think about the whacks that they take as a centre back as well. So I think it's remarkable the amount of games that he plays. You've got to be tough.
See, for like Goldson, obviously, like last season he was brilliant. And this season he's he's past 4 or 5 games he's making mistakes, but as you say, he gets slated for them whenever he does them. But that must be mental as well. What causes that?
It's just a wee bit, obviously, not tuned in properly or no. It's one of the things, because there's other scenes where they might have made the same mistake and then Griggs might have pulled off a great save for him or something. That's the thing.
Aye, maybe not noticing.
Just to be a bit of luck here and there, but sometimes you just get punished for everyone, and that's the way it goes.
That's what it is. Right, we're going to move on to our 7-a-sides team, right? Well, I read it. Somebody's online first.
Aye,
so David Morrison,
definitely.
He's got the goalie and goals. He's got Goff, Reina, Durant, Alberts, Cooper, and Moles.
Not bad.
That is
still
not
bad.
bad.
Good team.
Right, who wants to go? Will I go first?
Right, you go.
I'm
intrigued.
Yours is a dinosaur defensive.
Neddy's getting past me, but I used to be a centre half.
So I heard that face.
So I've got the goalie in. I've got David Robertson left back, Butcher and Goff in the middle, Gary Stevens, Gaza and McCoist up top.
Gary Stevens, what an athlete!
How can you have 4 at the back? My team's
You've not even got a defender, haven't you?
No
Know?
defenders. 7 aside, you don't need defenders. Gorham, Barry, Durant, Gaza, Laudrup, Cooper, McCoist. Subs, Alberts, Newman and Gio. Alberts just in case he batters me.
Right.
Nah, because I love the big man.
That's a top team. But mine's is actually no bad. I'm going to go with Gorham in goals, of course. Souness, Goff, Cooper, Wilkins, Durant, McCoist. That's not a bad team, by
That's
the
a
way.
good team enough.
Isn't it?
Nah.
It's very good.
Like Goff, he can just play the back himself.
I think my team.
Souness will drop in.
I think my team would just beat you. I think.
See when I mean that is. See when you've got likes of Gaza and you've got Laudrup's in there, isn't he?
Laudrup.
I mean,
Cooper,
that
McCoist.
Davy, aye.
What
So
manager?
Barry.
Who was it? Was it Warburton's? Said if we score one more than them, that kind of tactics. That's what you're trying to do, isn't it? Just score loads of
7
goals.
asides, but 7 asides.
By the
small.
way, now you're see my team. I tell you what, Souness, he'd be doing the lead. I would just have. I'm not having a 7-a-side team. I'll put Gorham in goals and then just go with Souness. I think Souness would take care of. Aye.
Do you know? I was
just get about taking them out one by one.
I was talking to my mate Gary, who runs Orsa, and he's talking about next year it's either going to be in Hong Kong or Bangkok. How good would it? I think they're going to do the Hong Kong Sevens.
Yep.
Rangers.
And they need a coach.
Well, we've won it
Coach.
anyway. We won it, didn't we?
Oh, aye. Hong Kong, aye. They're brilliant trips,
Aye.
so they're dangerous.
Was the goalie no one goals? The Hong Kong one.
Aye.
And Big Bomber, he
J-
took it really seriously.
Bomber was brilliant. It was funny because the guy, that was funny. Bombers, the guys who sponsors the Khmer, right? So we're drawing that each for a team, a local team there, but they've got guest players there for like Brazil and all that. And we've just arrived on the Thursday morning or something like that. Been on the last all night, played Friday night, probably on the last that day as well. And
We
we
were.
played the Friday night, and we drew that on each with the team. And Bombers came in. Oh yes, these guys have paid fortunes for this. So the next day, Bombers
your
like,
finger
I'm playing the Mora now, and it's so funny. He's running down the line, and all you just hammy away. It was hilarious.
I remember
Hilarious.
the goalie fell out of me for about 10 minutes after. I think it was a semi-final game. I let a ball bounce over my head, and the guy went through and he scored, and it was the only goal that he conceded all tournament. And
He was raging, was he?
It was my fault, and he was raging me for about 10 minutes. Then we had a glass of red and just chilled. But it just showed you, even at that, you know,
Oh,
he
yeah,
just didn't want to concede a goal. So I get the blame for that, so I did.
I'm just going to read out one more team. John Dooley. He's got Gorham, Stevens, Goff, Laudrup, Gascoigne, McCoy, Haley. That's an alright team as well.
Yep.
And Stuart Lang was actually saying he's surprised that you had Souness in your team.
Oh no, Souness was. I mean, I can't see. Sometimes you pinch yourself and you think, I played with. Although he was my player manager, I played alongside him. You know, so he was even at that age, getting into his 30s, he was still an absolute machine. So he was, and even that we're talking about that aura you have in a part. Even like, players when they looked across and seen him.
Oh,
You know, they were like, oh, he put fear into people, so he did as well. But it was just used to run the show. Any type of like, long range passing. Even look at some of the goals he scored. Not so much obviously with Rangers, but with Liverpool, he was sensational player, man.
What was like? Was that the first time you met him a few months ago at that open goal thing?
Aye,
What was that like?
that was great to see it. And he looks well. You
I
see him
heard
on
you
the
were
stands.
sober.
By the way, what? No, the good thing was
Heard
Not-
you did a few sherbets.
And what was nice was Souness had a couple of beers as well, and he was chilled that night. And sometimes it's good, isn't it? You can just have a couple of beers, and I was a wee bit daft, but he was a wee bit strict. But hey ho. But no, I can always get into my old age,
Feels
look
like
back.
yesterday, doesn't it?
Was that?
Feels like yesterday.
No, doesn't.
No,
I
but
wish I
it
could.
does just
Aye, but it
remember
was.
it
Aye.
flies in.
But it was great to see him, and he was in great nick. He actually said to me, he says, "You're looking well."
Aye.
Aye. So he must have had a couple of drinks in him.
Right, I'm afraid that's us finished already. Another quick show, 45
Great show.
minutes.
Loving it.
In fact, we never even get time to do predictions. In fact, we've got 1 minute. We can
Right,
do
1
predictions.
minute. Right,
Charlie. Tomorrow's
going-
game. I mean, Wednesday's game.
Wednesday. Oof.
I'm losing track of days.
One each.
I'm going to go. I think we'll win 2-1.
Right. I'm going to go just 1-0 Rangers.
I think it'll go all the way.
Aye. Be some game, won't it? There'll be some atmosphere over there
We've
as well.
got to be bang at it. But we know what to expect with them. Technically, they're good, but they've got that power, physicality. So we match that. And, set pieces. That's the only thing. Set pieces worries me. So it does, early, because they were good in there.
Aye. Right, we'll do Ross County quickly. Then 4-0 Rangers.
4-0 Rangers?
Aye.
Right. Where is it? Is that up?
It's at home.
Is it at home?
I
3-0
get it
Rangers.
wrong every week.
3-0 Rangers. There you go.
I
Charlotte.
get it wrong all the time as well.
No, you done well for the European game.
What does it?
You said we'd rattled them 4 or 5 or something.
I said, aye, but 3-0 it was, wasn't
Nah, it was still alright, but
it? Ross County.
They're not bad as well.
5-1.
There you go. You're giving them a goal.
I know.
it's because it's not good.
They always like to score against us, bums.
Aye. Anyway, that's us.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ricki.
Thanks again.
Cheers,
And I
guys.
never told you guys, actually, over the past 3 episodes, we've had nearly over 15,000 views
Magic.
on all the different channels and that, so that's brilliant.
Magic.
So thanks
Good
for the
stuff.
support.
Cheers, guys.
So we're still looking for a sponsor. We're not still looking for a sponsor, but if you want to sponsor the show, then you can just email us at allaboutRangers. No, it's not all about Rangers, it's all about the Gers.
All about the jails.
At Gmail. That's how we're not getting any sponsors. I'm getting the wrong email address. So it's all about the gels at gmail.com, or you can just send me a wee private message. All right, so take care and enjoy Amsterdam if you're away over there
Yep.
soon. All right, take
Money
care.
teddies.
See you later.
Fingers never thought I should